Yeah, okay, we are live. Good evening, Oriole Nation. Full house tonight. Great stuff. I'm just gonna make sure I got my. All right. Miss Viola, did we bring all of FLC tonight? This is awesome. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're going to get started here in just a second. All right. Chief Deckermaker's going to get going, so all yours, Prez.
All right. Welcome back from closed session. We're going to start with our board mission statement. If you want to get out to read those.
So our mission statement as a board is we will develop policy that is representative of our community, set goals, and lead our district by collaborating. And our beliefs are stand up and own it. So as individuals, we come every single day, every single meeting to stand up and own it for our kids, for our district. We do that together in our belief of we are one, and then we're continuously growing and learning together so we can make Nfdl the best school district in the area.
Awesome. Thank you. Next item is approval of consent agenda. We have 4 items on our consent agenda. The first is approval of November 25th regular meeting minutes. Second is approval of December 9th special meeting minutes. Third item is approval of December 10th policy committee meeting minutes. And then fourth is treasurer's report. All are found in our packet. So look for a motion to approve our consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Okay, then roll call. Happy?
Yes.
Yes.
Over. Yes. Deckerman?
Yes.
Yeager, yes.
All right, thank you. Next item is board members share moment of pride. So, I mean, this is pretty cool. So, I'll pass it to whoever would like to go first this time. Steve, you haven't gone first.
Sure.
There you go.
Because some of you guys are going to double up on a couple of mine, so I'll be first. But I have 3 things this month. First, I was able to go to the Trefford craft sale earlier this month, which was always cool. Always a great turnout, and just to support the school. And then also some of us were judges for the gingerbread house contest that the students had last week, I think it was. And that was really fun to be part of that thing. Just to see how the kids get engaged in different ways than just the typical day for some classrooms. And then the last thing was real interesting. I happened to be going to the Y now, and I walked in to go home one day and overheard around the corner where they didn't know who I was anyway, but 3 older gentlemen talking about how wonderful the North Fond du Lac School District was and how their daughters or sons are so happy with their kids that go here. I don't know who they were. And it was just fun to just sit there and listen to hear that, because, that wasn't always the case many years back. So just an independent thing like that. So that made my day or my week. So that's all I have.
Awesome.
All right, I had 2 on December 4th. I attended BAM's holiday concert. I just wanted to shout out Ms. Sargent did a great job of organizing the event. And it's nice to see the kids that as they improve from year to year. The second one, December 12th last week, right here at FLC was the Spillman Library Santa event. There was a great turnout there, over 500. Kids were able to play games in the gym, visit with Santa, and enjoy cookies and s'mores.
Good. I'll echo Steve's comments on the Trefford gingerbread contest. I was able to join for judging on Monday of last week. And I've been also spending a bunch of time with the wrestling team and participating in some of their practices and going to their meets. I had a couple of exciting wins in the past last week, and just had a tournament over the past weekend as well, so it's good to see them getting off to a good start.
Well, mine are all kind of repeats. I was at Steve at the vendor craft sale, and I was able to do 3 of the gingerbread judging, and then the middle school concert. So all of those things had great turnouts and a lot of enthusiasm in the district, so it was nice to see.
Yeah, I wasn't part of those events, so I'm not gonna say those again, but 2 other things. So our youth sports program, so I know basketball, I see one jersey's over there already, but our youth basketball program's going on, and it just kind of shows like the facilities we have here and how they support like the whole community and not just education, but also athletics. So I love that. And then just want to thank everyone so far. I know there's another few days left for our referendum questions and survey. It's important to everyone in our community, and having hundreds and hundreds of responses already to let your voice heard is super cool. So if you took it in the room, thank you, or online, thank you. But if you haven't, take the opportunity. We definitely want to hear your voice on what that looks like. So I'll pass it back to you if you have any. Oh, I guess I got to share it to you. Sorry. All right. Any other items? Moments of pride? No. Okay. All right. We're going to turn it over to the student council. Big audience today. Yeah.
Luis, Scott.
Good evening. Those who don't know me, my name is Luis Garcia. I'm student council president over at the high school. All right, to start off, so our Salvation Army event with the Key Club last week on the 13th, we had a big turnout. We helped pick out different presents for the families in need, or those like can't afford everything. We go again on Wednesday, the 18th, to help distribute them to the families. We get to meet them, get them groceries. Our holiday dress up days are ongoing this week. Some of you are in your pajamas. It was pajama day today. I'm still in mine. Every year, the student council does a secret Santa with all the staff members. So that started today as well. A staff member who would like to participate in the Secret Santa thing just signs up, and then each of us student council members will pick a staff member we'd like to be Santa for. Reading with students is continuing here at FLC with the NHS program. They're reading to the kindergartner classes. I know a few went last week. Our student council turf wars were November 4th through the 28th. Money we raise go directly to the children in the North Fond du Lac community and will be collected every Monday from homeroom. We purchased Christmas gifts and other needed items through the Friendship Angel Tree. Grade level homerooms compete against each other, seeing how much money can be raised. This year we raised over $500. And then last Monday, a few of us student council members went shopping and we bought the presents, some clothing, some snacks for them all. We wrap up our Christmas concert season this Wednesday with the Horseman High School band concert. Starts at 7. The past few weeks have been the BAM's choir concert and BAM's band concerts, as well as the Horseman High School choir concert last Wednesday. The Horseman High School and Bessie Allen Middle Schools combined production of Shrek Jr. the musical has started practices for rehearsals. That showing is the first weekend of February. And for student athletics, with winter sports underway, we have started our wing fling, which is like we go around the basketball gym through the stands, selling raffle tickets for 50-50, and as well as wing fling, which is like you buy a ticket. If your number is drawn, you shoot a half court shot, and so winner always wins free wings. Otherwise, those who participate either way do get a free appetizer from Buffalo Wild Wings. So yep, that's hosted by Student Council, NHS, and Key Club almost every home game. Tickets will be sold to raise money for each of their respective clubs' legacy accounts. This week, girls basketball is Tuesday at home versus Campbell Sport. Basketball is home versus Watoma on Thursday, and again at home on Friday against Lomira. Thank you all for allowing me to share a few of the many great things happening at the high school right now. Thank you.
Awesome. Any questions?
Luis, has anyone made the half court shot? That's my
Yes, someone made it.
Wow.
The other day,
Okay.
last week.
Wow, impressive.
Saw a couple more.
Okay. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing everything. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to leave at any point in time, obviously. So, we know you're a busy person, so. Yeah.
All right. Our next item is FLC share out. So I'll turn it, is it you, Matt, or Lauren?
I'm gonna kick it to Lauren right now.
And while Dr. Mino is pulling that up, I can just start off by saying thank you for having us. We started circles at FLC actually last school year where we had one grade level teacher per grade level implement and kind of roll this out. So some of the teacher leaders who are in this room were actually part of that pilot. Now this year, all of our teachers are implementing morning circles. So every single day, regardless if you're a kindergartner or a fifth grader, we start off our day with circles. And all of the individuals in the room will start and will tell you a little bit about what happens during circles and why they're important. But on the next slide, just in terms of like why we decided to move in this direction, first and foremost, connection is really important. So as a lot of our teachers could probably attest to, the day moves very, very quickly when you're teaching multiple subject areas. So we really wanted to embed this time for connection, not only student to student, but teacher to teacher as well. It's also a time where we talk about community and what that looks like, not only in our classrooms, but also in some of our common spaces. So we often will reference like, what are those expectations out at recess? What does it look like to be in the hallway, transitioning from our classroom to music? And it gives all of our teachers in our building an opportunity to kind of have that message be shared during that time. And then the final piece is a lot of our students will engage in conversations or quick connects or check-ins where they have to reflect on situations that maybe they've been a part of or think about how they might problem solve something different in the future. So these are kind of the three main reasons which really tie so nicely to our strategic plan when we're thinking about student engagement and student well-being and also student behavior. So I will let whoever is first up on the slide go first, just so we can stay in order. And I think that's our first graders.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Amy Bumhart, and I'm one of the first grade teachers here at Friendship. And these are my friends, Jovi, Chase, and Adrian. And I'll let them start talking about what they like about morning circles, and then I'll kind of finish up and follow up. So what is something you like about our morning
My
circles?
favorite thing about morning circles is that I get to hear everybody share. My favorite thing about morning circles is hearing about people's weekends. Sharing my ideas.
And all of the kiddos, you probably saw like they passed around the butterfly. So this is our talking piece, and it just reminds them that the person that's holding it is the one that we're giving love and attention to and making them feel like they're valued. So I like it because it's the start of our day. It's a little bit slower start. We're not jumping right into academics. It's not unusual for a kiddo to come up and just say, "Can I sit by you?" And they kind of like nuzzle in, and you know that they need that extra love that morning. And so that's where I added, it provides me some insight on how are the kids doing that morning, where are they at? You can start to see trends in their answers, whether they need just a little something more, they're just, always on top of the world kind of thing. And it's just nice because we go around and they find out things that they all have in common, things that they enjoy together. It allows us to be silly and just really connect with each other. You guys have any questions for us? They did so good.
Is it always the butterfly? Is that? Yeah.
It's always the butterfly. Why did we pick a butterfly?
Because it's Mrs. Baumhart's favorite animal.
And we raised them in the fall. So I would bring in caterpillars and we raised them and release them. All right.
Thank you. All right. fourth grade.
Hello, I'm Morgan Dyke. I am one of the fourth grade teachers here at FLC. I had the privilege to be a part of one of the teachers in the grade levels that piloted it last year. So this year, it's really fun to see everybody do it. And I've also am a part of the cultural playbook team that puts together the slides that go up to all the rest of the classes. For me, I really like doing circles with my students because it's a way for us to build connections, but also problem solve as a class. We've had issues where we're talkative or things like that, and I let them come up with ideas on how we can be better instead of me always telling them. And we use it to review our cultural playbook and behavior expectations. And one of the things I try to do is using our circle structure during academic times as well. We've done it for math reviews. We've done it for writing where we're editing and revising each other's writing within a circle. But really it's just to build those connections outside of academics too. So with me, I have 4 friends. I have Hadley, Alyssa, Raymond, and Isaac. So they're going to share a little bit about what they like about circles.
Based on how you say you feel will reflect on the rest of the day. We also talk about the Oriole kid of character trait and try and focus on acting like the character trait the rest of the day.
So I like Circle Up because it gives you questions so you can get to know people better at like the start of the year and all that, and it gets your morning started.
Getting to know how everybody feels and the fun jokes. What I learned during Circle Up is new things about each other.
Oh, wait. Tell us a joke from the circles. That's okay. You got one for us?
No.
No?
Not right now, right?
All right, nice job, everybody. All right, 5th grade. Try to.
Okay, I'm Amanda Winkler, 5th grade teacher. Students I have with me tonight are Bree, Liam, and Haley. And I'll start with what I like about circles. So I like the slow start in the morning. 5th graders can be really chatty when they come in, so having a way to kind of bunch us up and start with something they can talk about, and building those connections and relationships in the classroom. And then we also get to use circles for academics. So we've done math, sharing strategies for problem solving, as well as writing ideas and reading excerpts for peer evaluation. So it's a friendly way that they're used to where they can give feedback to each other. Would you guys like to share?
What I like about circles is hearing other people's answers and the fun questions. What I learned from circles is I learn about other people, like things about other people. And then why I think circles are important are because they teach us about each other, and I can learn about my classmates.
What I like about circles is the fun questions and the people's answers. And I learn things about people and what they like to do. And they teach us what's important.
What I like about circles is hearing what other people think, and it helps me learn about people, and it helps me get to know them. What I learn from circles is I learn about other people and what they like to do. And I think that circles are important because they give people a break in the morning.
Thank you.
Can you give us one example of a fun question that you've had in circles in the past?
It was like, would you rather have, it was like, fried cheese or have spaghetti hair?
Ooh, what did you choose?
I think I said cheese.
The crunchies.
No, the spaghetti here.
Spaghetti hair, okay. Yes. What did you use?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti hair. I think I go spaghetti hair too. All right,
Thank you.
thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, third grade.
I'm Amber Coates. I'm a third grade teacher. This is my second year doing circles in my classroom. I love Circle Up because it gives everyone a voice and a safe space to share in our classroom. It builds connections. It's a positive way to start our day every day. And we also use it to problem solve and discuss things as needed as a class. We have talking pieces that are Disney ducks. We have a collection. The kids get to pick and choose which one we use each day. Why do we have Disney ducks? Disney. Very good. So we have Kara, Nora, Aubrey, and Laverne, and they're going to share today what they love about circles.
Why are circles important? We get to see how people are feeling in the morning. I like to hear other people's answers and their feelings, and I like to tell my answers and feelings. So you can see how people are feeling, so you can cheer them on. Why are circles important? Because you can learn about different facts.
Any cool facts? Like, what's one fact that you learned? Or anybody?
I learned that, so like, if you have a math equation, you could, like, if it's 10, you could use your fingers and count the 6 fingers and you get the answer. So it'll be like, one of them were 54, and one of them, I think, was 96 or 2.
Good, thank you very much. All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brad Rinkes, assistant principal here at Friendship. I'm just talking a little bit about SEL. We have a team here that helps and support our teachers kind of in this work. They do a lot of the soft start, which I love soft starts. They are great for our kids. They're good for our staff and connections. Our biggest thing for SEL is to help support our teachers and our kids. A lot of our teachers will request us to come in when maybe there's something going on in the classroom that they just need help with to talk through, get other people's voices on the table. Whether that's, hey, we're struggling with listening to the speaker, we're struggling staying in our seats, things like that. So we can work through some of that, figure out a problem and get a solution to it. So you can kind of see up here, we have a good running document that we work through in our classrooms of, hey, what are some ideas or things that we can do to help us maybe have quiet voices when teachers talk. So we give the opportunity for our kids to have that voice to say, hey, what about this? This is a great idea. And then we come up with 1 or 2 agreements that we are going to go by for that 2 weeks. And then that teacher is going to check on those things. And then whoever that is that helps lead that circle, if it's myself, in 2 weeks, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about where are we with that progress? Are we making progress? Are things going well? Or do we need to change our plan? So that's been a big, big thing in terms of just working through some of the things when our community or classroom communities aren't always where they need to be. That's been a big help for us. And then you always have the other opportunity too for a lot of what SEL does is sometimes we have to work through some of the challenging behaviors or behaviors that happen. And we try to work through what's called restorative questions. So as you can see on here, we have little cards that we have, most of us have in our pockets that we work through the day to help solve problems and make sure that our kids have voice and they're able to work through their problems together. One of the questions we have when things go wrong is what happened? What were you thinking at the time? What have you thought about since? Who's been affected by what you've done? In what way? What do you think needs to happen to make things right? That's obviously the big one when we leave a room or a conversation is like, what's next, right? What's our next best step? When that person that's been harmed, we talk about what did you think when you realized what had happened? What impact has this incident had on you and others? And what has been the hardest thing for you? And what do you think needs to happen to make things right? So each side kind of has that voice. We work through that. We really try to problem solve what's going on, have an action step, and then look at following through. Obviously, that next day, that's a key component of making sure that, hey, this is all working and going, right? We could talk about it, but what does it look like from day 1 to day 2 to day 3? So big part there. So that's kind of what we do SEL wise. Any questions?
How many people do you have on the team?
We have, let's see, well, that's a good question. I gotta count. Lauren, myself, Natalie, 5, right? 5, 6.
Our SEL team is made up of,
So we have Rachel Wachek, who's our school psych, myself, Lauren, Natalie Rosas, primary response. We have Wade Thompson helps out in that space, and then Erica Harbath, our school counselor. That's our SEL team that kind of does some of this work when teachers request that. We also fill in the event the teacher wants to just go talk with students. We will cover their classroom to help them kind of support that kid in that space and take ownership. So that's been a big moving the needle, so to speak, this year on what those next steps are, and that was part of what we wanted to do. So
Thanks.
great, yeah.
that's all.
Any other questions for the whole crowd here? Just want to thank you all, FLC, for making it all happen tonight, especially our students who were able to come up here and share their stories. That really means a lot to us. And we also want to thank all the families here too to come and support your kids. This is a really awesome thing to have. This doesn't happen in every single place that I've been, at least. And so that constant support and you being there for your kids is such a huge thing for our community and for our strong school. So really appreciate y'all for being here tonight. If you want to stay for policy conversation, you're more than happy to, but you're also free to go at this time if you want to stick around. But wish you the best. Happy holidays to everybody here too.
Thank you all. I know. This is awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Any gatekeepers?
Guys, really that bad?
I know.
What?
That's awesome.
Jumpy.
Thanks for having us.
Good night, good night.
All right. That was awesome.
That was great.
Our next item is clerk's report.
All right, for donations, this month, Backpack Sweaties, Deanna Schaefer donated $500, Travelers Banquet Hall, $308, and All Tools NDT Inspection, $1,000. And then also for donations, the Adopt a Family Air Tech Heating donated $500, the Optimist Club, $500, Deanna Schaefer, $1,000, Chris Schultz, $100, and Aaron Gross Incorporated, $50. And that is all I have for the clerks.
Awesome. It's awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Terry. We have citizens' comments, but we have no Adam.
Yeah.
All right, so we will move on to our next item, which is policy updates, first reading.
So last week, Wednesday, we had a chance to sit down, Terry and Jacob and I, just walking through this. I think the biggest thing is we've made most of the adoptions to this. And when we sit down with Neolo, like they give you options and then we sit and say, okay, this makes the most sense in what we think moving forward. So with Jacob and Terry, we ran through every single one of the policies that was up. If you look and if you all have copies and ability to see the drafts in any of those areas, to really look into them a little bit deeper, but they're extensions of what needed to be made happen based on like federal, state statutes, other things like that that needed changes. So I don't know, Terry or Jacob, do you have any like pressing things from the actual first read that you learned or thought was interesting that you went?
I mean, there were really very few like option related changes. They were pretty straightforward, I would say.
I think the one area that we're gonna have to go back and Adam, this is something to think about too, is the wellness, like how we do this for wellness groups and our wellness team and like what does that look like in terms of nutrition and other, there's a lot of gaps that way, but we're putting that on hold for now. That's not gonna be part of the complete policy review. So we'll wait on that and then work that out with a group here too. But other than that, it was pretty base information. And obviously you all can go in, read that information. All the green highlighted things are the new ads. You'll also see if it'll say like end of option or option chosen. So like you'll see where those additions were added to or taken out for that matter.
And if we have after review, if we have other questions, we have a second reading next.
Absolutely. Yep.
Session.
Next session. Yep. Our next board meeting.
Any questions? Okay, awesome. So if you do take an opportunity between now and next session to look and bring questions to our January regular meeting. Next is superintendent's report, so.
Yeah, so we're pretty skinny today for like actual stories, which is an okay thing, but this upcoming Friday, in terms of learning academics, we do have our professional development day. I don't know, Adam, if you want to like comment on any of that in terms of what it has been and what we've been, walking through. I'm sorry, I probably got you with a mouthful of food, but.
Yeah, trying to eat a little dinner here.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we shared that with you at the beginning of the year, but basically, our format is the morning is kind of a little bit more structured, and the afternoon is more for those staff members to kind of do some free collaboration with each other or connecting with families and that sort of thing. So again, the AM, if you come into our buildings, be a little bit more of that structured learning for staff aligned to KPIs and all our building district goals. So.
I get a chance to every single month to do a cultural piece in terms of our beliefs and really like coaching up behaviors and things like that with our whole staff. This month, we're going to do this activity that's right behind you, actually. This is called School Carol, and it gives you prompts for the past, present, and future. And so it buckets it under like moments of wisdom or pieces of wisdom to moments of gratitude in the present, and then moments of optimism for the future. And the prompts that we're going to go through this Friday with groups and all the staff are, the past is please share. I just got to go up here so I can read this advice you would give yourself when visiting 14-year-old you. And the responses up here are actually from our strategic planning group that we met here like a week ago, whatnot. So they were giving their answers there, so that's up there. The second, in terms of past, please share advice you would give yourself when visiting your first year of teaching or being in the district or facilities, whatnot. We'll have that available. The next is the present. So please share a way in which someone else on our team impacted you this year. So this is the moments of gratitude. You can even see Chrissy Walter was recognized during that time. I think Beth Dardas, other folks in your special ed team, first grade, seventh grade team. So a really SEL team. It's a great way to show thanks and gratitude to those individuals. This next one in the present, please share something you successfully challenged and overcame this year. So you see a smattering of different things on that prompt. And then finally, we get to the future, which is the optimism. Please describe an area you want to learn more about so your future self is more empowered. And then finally, in a single word, describe your career after 25 years. And what you do then is this, you go through all the prompts together. You have one individual just pick one that like really resonated with them that wasn't their own. And then they point that out, and then whoever wrote that then comments on why. Why did they choose that? And then that person gets to pick one, and they keep going. So we'll do this in a large group setting, but we're gonna have our little small groups that we have working together, so they'll be able to do that together as well.
So you're gonna bring this activity to that
whole group. So how it'll look is this. We'll have like poster paper up, and we'll have the prompts on the poster paper. People will all be able to put their own Post-its up on that so you can see everything, right? And we have these groups called six packs. Okay. So they're made up of all different ages of people who have been here. So like we've got people who have been here 5 years or less, 15 years or more, 20 years or more. Then we have groups of teachers in there, facilities, individuals, administrative assistants. So they're a good mix of those folks. Yeah. They all have like a journal that they bring every single time. So we're like kind of updating and making commitments from 1 month to the next in terms of how we can respond best. And then they'll start putting, those moments, number one, they write down their own in their notebook or their journal, and then they'll write down whatever one they picked, and they'll have a conversation with each of their six packs as they go through.
Okay, so the reason they pick it is not like if you wrote down one and I happen to pick yours, you don't talk about why you wrote that. I talk about why that one resonated with me, right? Or why I'm.
So you would like, if I said, Jacob, you pick one from here.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever one you picked, then that author would then speak on why they wrote that.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's
Okay.
how I was originally
Yeah.
understanding it, okay.
Yep. And then and then that author would pick one, and then someone else circles
Got it.
back. So
Got it.
this will be a little bit different because in those 6-packs, we can't do everybody all
Oh,
at
yeah,
once and go.
you could pick one that's no one in your 6-pack.
Correct.
Yeah, got it.
Just kind of, it's a moment for reflection, just, honoring the moments as well, and then, doing a little bit of the holiday Charles Dickens story.
Do they already have, access to the questions? Cause
Not
I
yet.
can see like, if you put me on the spot with that, I would like freeze up and pick something silly, but.
I could throw that at them
No, I'm
first
not,
half, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's kind of.
Usually we give them a pretty decent amount of time, like 20 minutes or something like that, to just walk through themselves, write the post-it down, put it up on the wall. And then we'll have a pretty nice smattering of like gratitude posts, overcome, those kind of things. Some advice we can like resonate why we're doing what we're doing here. That's what's like really comes back. And then what can we do moving forward as our future aligns? So that'll be the activity this week. I've done other ones in terms of we've really focused on the art of listening or active listening and how that really benefits the individual. And it really comes back to our ERO or our event plus response equals our outcome. So if we respond in a way that we're taking the time to listen to that other person and our actions, our body language, and how that we're delivering and like asking the right questions during time, and we make it about that person, we're only gonna get better as like a group because we constantly are in that frame. Like we're constantly serving people. People are always coming to us, from students to other faculty members to families, board members, you name it. So how do we get ourselves right so we can really commit to that individual and be there for them at that time? Or if you're not ready at that time, how do you say like, I can't have this conversation right now, and you can take a pause, I'll come back to you and get back to you, because sometimes we're in that situation. I love it. Like when I was building principal, like my door was open and I was working on some stuff in the morning early, and people would come, hey, do you got a minute? And it was like really hard to say, no, I don't really. But you have to almost say like, hey, I want to give you full attention. And if I broke right now, I wouldn't be able to give you that full attention. I'll find you later today and we'll make sure, is it urgent that you need me right now? And then most times they were like, absolutely not. We can come back and check in with you later. But that happens. It's just a way of like delivering and learning how to do those skills. And we just take them for granted, I think, many times, and we just go along our skills and our daily things. But if we get really good at, some of those things, I think we only, climb as a full staff. The other, component that after the semester, we'll get into complex conversations, like how to actually have complex conversations with another individual without, feeling like you're at fault or putting that person down or whatever it might be, that fear of failure judgment within those conversations. And like, how can you walk out of that feeling okay and actually serving or helping that other person within their work too as well. So.
We, for the PD days, I know this is new this year. I mean, to the extent that you were doing this, and as we look at next year's calendar, are we continuing that? And then are we getting feedback? Like, how do we get feedback on the success of them?
So to answer your first, yes, it will be the same as last year. We will have Wednesday mornings with our collaborative team time every single week. And then once a month, we'll have the PD day where our students will not be in school, but sometimes they're virtual days for our high school and middle school. So we run that through. This time it's not. But in terms of the other, in terms of getting feedback, our principals have been each PD time asking for like a Google form. They kick it out to their staff saying, hey, what was good? What was, what was the pluses, deltas? And they get that feedback back and they can deliver it back. And honestly, it's been very, very positive this year. They love it because they get some direct laser-like things in the morning. And then in the afternoon, they really have that time to, put things together, plan, and it's really choice and flexibility for them to get some stuff done that they normally might not have that chance to do within the week.
Yeah, I think it would be cool, maybe a report out by the principals next time or in the future time to hear what they're hearing from that, and like what does success look like with the personal or the PD day? Like I just love to kind of hear what that's going to. It'll help us be a little bit more informed, I think, too, on what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that idea because I think it's like, especially for the kind of open time at the end.
Yeah.
Like, are we, the people involved feel like they're actually doing things that they otherwise couldn't have or wouldn't have done, right? And is it helping them, maybe it's reducing a headache after school or whatever that they would have had to spend evening time working on, or maybe it's just enriching their, their next day or whatever. I guess I'd be interested in learning more about how they reflect on that and see if it is having an impact.
I like it.
Cool. We can do that. Awesome. The only really other thing I've got on here is engagement and communications, and just repeating kind of what John was saying before, is that we have a survey out for the community. We have a survey out for our staff and also for our families. It's all the same survey. It's not different, but that is out and put out by School Perception, which is an educational research-based firm that is collecting data so that we can make the best decisions moving forward in our budget planning, and as well as potential referendum for April to get some guidance on what some of the themes are so we can make best decisions moving forward. We have had around 600 surveys already filled out, which is, again, a great number already, but there's still time. So people who are online, there's still time to fill out the survey. You have until December 20th, and then we'll get those results and work with School Perceptions as we move forward.
Matt, how many were, offhand, how many were sent out total?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head how many. I can find out. I think it was check that. It was like 2,800 to 3,000 around that. Yeah.
Just curious.
We also had some people who actually came into the district office and picked up the mail copy that they didn't get it for whatever reason. So we were able to help them out, and we've had some calls, like people just wanted to participate. So that's good too.
And that number seems, because I think the last one we had around 600 or so, and that was, I remember the presentation after, and that was like a high turnout for it, so it's good to see. And we'll hear in January.
In January, like a summary of the findings from School Perception, they'll actually be sharing that. I believe we're gonna be looking at that on January 8th. As a board.
Cool.
So I really have no other items for share out. We're in obviously it's, interesting time of year, and we're wrapping up, but people are still moving forward and making it happen every single day. And again, it's just good to see the classrooms and how they're functioning and what we're doing. So, that's what I got for today.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, our next item is new business, and we have two items. The first is consider approval of new hire as discussed in closed session. So we have one new hire from Mike Lohr to join the team. So if there are any questions, otherwise look for a motion to approve that contract. So moved. A second, and then roll.
Hoffner,
Yes.
Geckerman,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Jaeger, yes, and Matthew.
Yes.
Okay, and then next item is consider approval of experience-based teaching license.
And Adam spoke of that last time with
Yep.
CTE and Josh, right? Gesh.
Yep.
In terms of our tech ed.
Okay.
Process.
So any additional questions since Adam shared last time? Staff? All right, then look for a motion to approve the experience-based teaching license.
Second.
And then roll.
Matthew, yes. Jaeger, yes. Matthew.
Yes.
Hoffner,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Geckerman.
Yes. All right, and last one is adjourned. So our meeting's adjourned as of 7:46 PM. So thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Sorry. Getting ahead of myself.